Individuals around the world are trading stocks and contracts for difference, or CFDs, every day. Stocks are pieces of a company, or in other words, every share of stock represents ownership in a company. Contracts for difference, or CFDs, are similar to stocks and stock indices, with the added benefit of leverage. Let's talk about stocks first, and then we'll come back to CFDs. Like you just heard, stocks are pieces of a company, or in other words, every share of stock represents ownership in a company. For instance, if you own one share of stock in a company that has issued 1,000 shares of stock, you own 0.1% of that company. Likewise, if you own one share of a stock in a company that has issued 1 million shares of stock, you own 0.0001% of that company. When you own a stock, you are entitled to share in the successes and failures of a company, the profits and the losses. When a company makes money, the value of that company's stock generally goes up. When a company loses money, the value of that company's stock generally goes down. Traders buy and sell stocks to take advantage of the price movement of the stock. Here's how it works. If you buy the stock and the stock price goes down, you lose money. However, if you buy the stock and the stock price goes up, you make money. On the flip side, if you sell the stock and the stock price goes down, you make money, while if you sell the stock and the stock price goes up, you lose money. Stock prices fluctuate from day to day. Your job as a stock trader is to determine which direction you believe the stock price is going to move and place your trades accordingly. Now let's take a look at CFDs. CFDs are based on stocks and stock indices. Whereas stocks are actual certificates that show ownership in a company, CFDs are simply contracts between two parties, you and your dealer in most cases, that designate how much money you will make or owe depending on where the price of the underlying stock or stock index moves. CFDs and stocks are like people and hot air balloons. A person alone cannot fly. A hot air balloon, on the other hand, can fly by itself. However, when you put a person inside a hot air balloon, she can fly with the hot air balloon. As the balloon floats higher, the person inside the balloon also floats higher. As the balloon floats lower, the person inside the balloon also floats lower. CFDs and stocks work in much the same way. A CFD by itself cannot move up or down in price. A stock, on the other hand, can move up or down in price all by itself. However, when you attach a CFD to a stock, it can move up or down with the price of the stock. As the stock price moves higher, the value of the CFD also moves higher. As the stock price moves lower, the value of the CFD also moves lower. Traders buy and sell CFDs to take advantage of the price movement of the stock. Here's how it works. If you buy a CFD and the underlying asset goes down in price, you lose money. However, if the underlying asset goes up in price, you make money. If you sell a CFD, on the other hand, and the underlying asset price goes down, you make money. And if the underlying asset price goes up, you lose money. CFD values fluctuate from day to day as the price of the underlying asset moves up and down. Your job as a CFD trader is to determine which direction you believe the underlying asset is going to move so you can place your CFD trades accordingly. If you buy a CFD and the underlying asset goes down in price, you lose money. However, if the underlying asset goes up in price, you make money. If you sell a CFD, on the other hand, and the underlying asset price goes down, you make money. And if the underlying asset price goes up, you lose money. CFD values fluctuate from day to day as the price of the underlying asset moves up and down. Your job as a CFD trader is to determine which direction you believe the underlying asset is going to move so you can place your CFD trades accordingly. CFDs have the added benefit of leverage. Leverage is probably the one characteristic of CFDs that intrigues individual investors the most. Leverage is the ability to convert a small amount of power into a larger amount through the use of a tool. Imagine you are asked to move a large boulder from the spot where it is currently resting. You could certainly try to push and move the boulder with your bare hands, but your job would be much easier if you could use a tool, like a large pole, that you could place under the boulder that will give you some leverage. The same principle holds true when you are trading CFDs. You can make money by investing just your own money, but you can make much more money if you can use the tool of financial leverage by borrowing money from your dealer. The leverage you enjoy when trading CFDs is determined by the margin you are required to post for each trade. Before your dealer lets you borrow money, you have to show that you have some money to cover any losses you may incur. Margin is the money you set aside with your dealer for safekeeping to prove that you are able to cover your losses.